Welcome to Unleashed Opinion, boldly challenging the powers that be while keeping liberals in their place with conservative ideals and common sense solutions.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the Unleashed Opinion. We're live and worldwide once again.
Yabba dabba doo, baby.
Yeah,
We're back.
Chucklehead's in the house with me.
That's
this
right.
evening.
Sporting my Unleashed Opinion shirt.
Yeah,
I don't know where my partner shirt is at, but
It's
you
in
know.
the drawer, right where I left it.
Boy. Same place you left your mine. I don't know.
Could be. Well,
Hit it.
big thank you out to our men and women in the armed services out there, keeping us
Absolutely.
free and safe. Greatly appreciate what you do. I mean, for us here at the Unleashed Opinion, I believe all our viewers out there, I really don't know if you have any idea how much we appreciate what you've done for us, our country, your families, everybody involved.
Absolutely. Anybody that is out there listening, if you're military personnel or have been or are now, hey, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for what you have done, what you are doing, and just thank you very much.
We really do appreciate it. And I can't say enough.
I wish these people out there who consistently bash our military and even law enforcement out there, maybe you need to step up, pony up, and go step in the shoes of these people sometimes and see what they do.
Sure. It's a thankless job. Trust me, it really is. What else you got? Police and firefighters.
Absolutely. Our first responders and everything out there, because, you guys are making everything safe out there for us, too, for what you're doing. As a matter of fact, and was at the cemetery the other day, there were some first responders go by. Mm-hmm. Apparently there was a little accident, and somebody took off, and they had to go chase after him. But
really?
I think they finally got him.
Good.
Actually,
that's what they do.
There's two of them, because there was one out by me, out by the hotel.
I heard about that.
Somebody hit another vehicle, ran down the ditch, got out of the car, and took off. I think the canine finally found the guy, but apparently he was either an illegal alien, a drug runner, or had a stolen vehicle.
Oh, darn it. Oh, we can only hope he's incarcerated.
Yeah, well, let's hope he probably won't stay there very long, the way Illinois goes.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, we got Josh and Joyce out there already this evening. That's awesome.
Hi, Josh and Joyce.
Absolutely. Oh, you got police and firefighters. Okay. We've got a little video, something positive here. This young man who's like 11 years old, I think the article said, is in a wheelchair and is not mobile at all. But, the national anthem plays and he gets out of his wheelchair and stands for the anthem. And
Really?
It is pretty awesome.
This guy's in a wheelchair, can hardly move, but yet he gets up when the national anthem plays, unlike other certain individuals.
They make millions of dollars a year.
Yeah. We'll roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
Uses a wheelchair and requires braces on his legs, managed to stand for the national anthem at a Tennessee fair on Sunday night. Avery Price has hereditary spastic paraplegia (HSP) syndrome, a condition similar to cerebral palsy, which makes it difficult for him to use his legs, Fox 17 reports.
Okay, that says a lot out there. This young man thinks enough of his country that by all means a person would understand if he didn't stand for the national anthem and just held his hand over his heart. But this young man got up. That means a lot to me.
Absolutely, it does. I mean, he knows the importance of the national anthem. He knows the importance of this country. Apparently, other people who make millions of dollars don't.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
I'd say the guy's name, but I'm not going to say his name anymore.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Have we got David Meyer out there? Clay is out there this evening. Kendall out there this evening. All right.
Hey, we got to give a shout out to our postal workers too. I mean, neither rain, sleet, snow, or dead of night will stop them from their appointed rounds. And I got to give. Where did that article go?
Oh, good God!
Didn't you give it to me?
What? I don't know what.
Anyway, there is a postal worker out in California who helped save a girl from sex trafficking.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, he was doing his rounds, and he heard some crying going on behind a tree. He went over there and saw this 16-year-old girl, Crystal Allen. I guess she was bawling and everything, and she was pointing at her arms and saying, they drugged me, and they drugged me. And apparently, she was a victim of sex trafficking.
Oh, that's not good.
Apparently, for 3 months. She was drugged and tortured and abused for 3 months, and I guess when they were going through this neighborhood, she jumped out of the car and apparently had the wherewithal to grab a cell phone. And anyway, she was behind this tree. This postal worker heard her, went there, stayed with her while they called her mom and then the authorities to come get her. So, hey, congratulations to this guy. Ivan Chrysostomo is the postal worker's name. And kudos to you, sir, and thank you for what you do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You just made, you saved that girl's life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We got Chris Davis out there this evening, too. That's
What?
pretty, yeah, all right. Here's an article out of Florida. A Florida restaurant decided to cancel its DirecTV NFL package over the controversy about players kneeling during the national anthem to protest social injustice. Curtis West, who is co-owners of Beef O'Brady's in Brooksville, with his wife Janet, told Fox 13 Tampa on Monday there will be no NFL games shown because of the disrespect the players have shown.
Wowza.
Last year, with the kneeling and disrespect for our veterans and our flag and our country, I was upset, he says. Beef O'Brady's felt the protest showed a lack of compassion and gratitude for service members. West hung up posters alerting his customers of the change. Beef O'Brady's will not be financially supporting the NFL this year due to their lack of compassion and gratitude for our American service members. Our national anthem is one of the methods we as American citizens have always used to show our appreciation to our military service members, past or present, alive or dead. This tradition deserves respect, and unfortunately, the NFL does not feel the same way. So for this season, we will not be purchasing the NFL ticket. Perhaps it will make a difference if it hits their wallets.
That's outstanding.
That is super. He goes on to say, we are proud to support our troops. We don't kneel. We thank you for your service. He says it's a very big deal to us, so that's
Outstanding.
that is
That is an outstanding right there. Hello, Becky Sailor. How are you doing? Oh, you forgot to mention the guys out in the garage.
No, I didn't. I recently said throwing clays out there. Hey, you don't listen to what I'm talking. Is that what's going on there?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't listen to you.
Hey, there was a football coach a long time ago, named Jerry Landline, coach of the Falcons, and he'd get into the referees quite a few times. And he told one time, "This is the NFL. We're standing for not long. Keep making those kind of calls." And I'm telling you what, if they keep doing this BS in the NFL, it is going to be not long. I'll tell you what, people are going to continue to stop watching this stuff.
Yep. I agree.
I know. I mean,
They didn't bother me at all much last year.
no, not at all. I didn't sleep over it. That.
Didn't even look at the papers and standings were. Didn't care.
Negatory.
Didn't even care.
Hey, what would you do? I tell you why I'm distraught.
Again,
Absolutely freaking distraught apparently last week. I don't even know how I'm going to sleep at night. You know why?
why is that?
Donna. I'm sorry. Slut Donna. Material girl has left the country.
No.
Yes.
You mean that someone actually gets stuck with their promise?
She apparently got Trump deranged syndrome so bad, she finally left the country, went to Portugal, took her kids there. She says it's partly because she wants them to play soccer. But yeah, Trump deranged syndrome. She says, I just can't live in this country anymore. It's horrible. I say, bye-bye.
Yeah.
So long.
Too bad.
You know, hey, why don't you call the people on the View like go, whoopee, Goldberger and Joey Behar and all them other freaking troglodytes. Hey, take them with you.
Sure. I mean, wasn't what we wanted? People said if Trump wins, I'm leaving. And she's still here.
Absolutely. There was a lot of us said that.
Yeah. And you notice
But apparently they're not people of their words.
Go figure. Yeah, they said they were ashamed of the country and they were going to leave, but you can tell how great this country is by the people who said they're going to leave, but still stay.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh.
Absolutely, Joyce. Joyce says here, I said the Pledge of Allegiance in grade school, and I was always proud to do so. Now kids get into trouble if they wear or revere our flag. Just ridiculous. Absolutely.
That is true.
But I'll guarantee you one thing. My wife is a teacher, and all the kids stand in her class and recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Outstanding.
Guaranteed.
Hey, we got Savo out there this evening. Scott Zimmerman's tuned in too.
Savo.
Yeah, I knew Savo would be out there this evening.
I wonder if he's shot any artillery lately.
I got another positive thing here. A young man stood on street media in Mountain View, California, the tech hub home to companies like Google, with a sign saying, homeless, hungry for success, take a resume. So he wasn't begging for money. He wants people to take his resume.
Absolutely. That's fantastic.
David Cazares moved to Silicon Valley with 3 years' experience as a software developer and a degree from Texas A&M University. We spoke for about an hour, said the Twitter user identified as Jasmine Schofield. He came to Silicon Valley with a dream to be successful in tech and has a lot to offer the community. He's sleeping in parks and still trying to get freelance work, interviews, and applications in. Cazares is 26, arrived in Mountain View last fall with a few months' salaries and dreams of his own business. But the region's steep cost of living plagued him. He slept in his van till money for payments ran out, and he lost the van in last June. He said, all I wanted was for one person to notice, take my resume, and give me an opportunity. More than one did. 200,000 plus people responded to the tweets on Cazares. Google, Netflix, LinkedIn, and many other companies have already reached out, the Schofield said. A product manager from Bitcoin.com was wondering if he could work remotely or if he would want to relocate to Tokyo. Cazares told the New York Post, claiming he received more than 200 job offers.
No kidding.
So that, if you're willing to work, this guy stood out on a street corner with resumes. This gal come and talk to him and put something out there on Twitter, apparently, and now he's a hot commodity.
So he took initiative.
Yep.
Instead of just relying on the government or somebody else like that.
Yeah, it's crazy, I know.
That's insane. He can't do that in this day and age.
That's what real people do.
Outstanding. That is fantastic.
Yeah, hats off to this guy. He and this gal that stopped and talked to him, she made a difference. That is super.
Very, very good. Very good. I got a question.
Okay.
If you were out somewhere and you saw somebody taking an upskirt picture of your daughter, what would you do?
Well, that person's not going to have a very good day.
Savo, what would you do?
Well, we already know the answer to that.
Apparently, father took matters into his own hands, as I would. He caught up to a creep following his 15-year-old daughter around a Target. Imagine that. In California. Jorge Ibarra Jr. was arrested on Wednesday, August 1st on suspicion of invasion of privacy after he was allegedly captured on surveillance video taking upskirt photos of girls at a Target in Cyprus. Ismael Duarte was at the store shopping with his daughter and his wife. He said he noticed Ibarra acting oddly. Surveillance video captured Duarte tackling Ibarra when Duarte says he realized what the suspect was doing. Chased him out of the Target and tackled him. He was able to snap a photo of Ibarra in his car before he fled. Now, this part I don't get because his face would have been a permanent fixture in the parking lot had this been me. He said, my daughter and the girl that actually was getting their picture taken without her being known, that's what got me. Yeah, it would. That would
Absolutely.
freaking get me. The father says he wished he could have done more, and you should. I'm pissed off that I didn't do more than I did, but I wish I would have. Because I'm so angry. Well, yeah, absolutely.
But you know what? The guy got caught, so
Yeah, I
so
mean,
it's not like he didn't do anything.
Right.
He just wished he would have done more.
as we all do. I tell you, there are some freaking sick ass people out there, and
That guy doesn't have to worry about it for a while, does
well, I tell
he? As
you,
long as he's convicted.
hopefully, you never know, especially out in California.
Yeah. Well, here's something out of New York, and this is from WCBS 880. The city is hoping a voter registration campaign at the Rikers Island Jail Complex might prompt some more inmates to cast ballots this year. As WCBS 880 Steve Burns reported, the Legal Aid Society's Anthony Pizzata said there's all kinds of misinformation out there. Not that many people know that they can vote while being in Rikers Island. Only those currently serving time for a felony or are out on parole after a felony are banned from voting. Everyone else can cast a ballot. Pizzata said that includes much of the 8,000 or so people at Rikers, most of them who have not been convicted of crime but cannot afford bail. When this population doesn't vote or is denied the right to vote, we are ignoring and silencing a large number of people, Pizzata said. The city is partnering with Legal Aid Society to meet with inmates and educate them. Education might be a little afterthought there on some of these things. It goes to give them a reason that, your voice does matter and that their engagement in the process is important. Okay, now, I really don't want inmates to vote.
No, you don't want inmates to vote.
But But I mean, these guys have not been convicted. So our law says you're not guilty. You know, you're innocent till proven guilty. As much as I don't like that when these people are in Rikers Island, that's just the way it is. Like it or not, that's the way it is. The part that I think is kind of funny about this is that I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the Democratic Party is in such disarray they're going to the prisons to solicit votes. I mean, because a convict is not going to vote for Republicans because they stand for law and order
Are you kidding
and
me?
being responsible for your actions, unlike the Democrats. And we can see that with the lack of immigration enforcement. So you know how these
shocker.
people are going to vote if they're sitting in the penitentiary.
Well, sure.
Even if they're not guilty, and as bad as I hate to say it, if they've not been convicted of anything, they still have the right to do that. But I think it's funny that New York and this whatever society was going to prisons to get votes because and here again they're not going to vote Republican. They're not going to vote conservative. They're going to vote for the slap on the wrist Democrats and the the state checks you can get after you get out because the Republicans are not so much on giving these things away. So
So they want you to work for stuff.
yeah, it's a lot like that. A lot like the guy with the resumes out on the street corner.
Out in Union County, North Carolina, what kind of vermin scum robs a 9-year-old boy with a lemonade stand?
Well, I think he was pretty nice about what you called him already. So
Well, this is a child-friendly show. So apparently deputies are looking for a teenager who they said robbed a 9-year-old's lemonade stand at gunpoint over the weekend. He said he opened the box, a guy grabbed it, pushed the gun at me, and ran away. Mark David is the kid's name. He runs a neighborhood lemonade stand in traffic circle at St. John's Community Front entrance. Let's see. Said neighbors said the child has bounced back after the crime and set up his lemonade stand again on Sunday. His mother apparently stays on a video chat with him while he's selling lemonade. That's cool. And she said she overheard the robbery, so I'm pretty sure she was pretty upset there at the time. Said it's really terrifying. Every parent can relate to that, even if it's not your child. Your heart hurts and bleeds for that kid. They said there's often seen the young man selling organic lemonade. Union County Sheriff's Office told Channel 9 that the stick-up happened near a traffic roundabout on Johns Forest Lane in Monroe. Like I said, and I think the guy got like $20. $20 frickin' dollars. You're robbing a 9-year-old kid trying to make a few extra bucks selling organic lemonade.
how sad is that? What kind of a piece of crap are you to rob a kid's lemonade stand? Really?
It's the kind of a guy that needs a sling blade right between the frickin' eyes.
Wow, that's sad. I mean, how do you get to that point where you're robbing a 9-year-old kid's lemonade stand? It's pathetic.
Apparently, you're a POS. POS.
Hey, we've got Dave Arns out there, Dan Lenning, Brian Cooper's out there this evening too. All right.
Did he have a permit? Probably not. The feds are coming to get him, man.
Well, I want to know, did the guy who robbed the stand, did he have a permit to rob the lemonade stand? So, I mean, if you're going to...
yeah, he had a gun. That's his permit. Poor 9-year-old kid. Be whipping some butt.
No, yeah. Let's see, what else have I... Oh, here we go. West Hollywood.
Oh, boy.
West Hollywood City Council on Monday passed a resolution to remove President Donald Trump's star from the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Imagine that.
West Hollywood City Council unanimously passed a resolution asking the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce to remove the Donald Trump star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, said West Hollywood Mayor John Duran. The Washington Times reported that Duran said that the resolution is not because of his conservative policies or conservative politics or policies, is for the abuse of women, minorities, immigrants, and the disabled. You've crossed the line of decency. Really? Because there's a whole lot of people in Hollywood that...
That's crossed the line of freaking decency.
yeah, what was that douchebag's
They probably left
name?
Harvey Weinstein's star out there.
That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that have done much worse than what Trump's even probably thought about.
You know, pay close attention to that because I'm pretty sure there's a lot more people in that freaking Hollywood skankback ring. It's going to freaking go down on that one.
The City Council's resolution is largely symbolic, as it is simply a request that the Los Angeles City Council and Hollywood Chamber of Commerce remove the marker, which has never been done before Trump was awarded his star on the prestigious stretch of Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles, California in 2007 during the height of his Apprentice fame, and is bendy-faced and vandalized numerous times since he's been in office. But, you know, West Hollywood is also the place that had, they declared a Stormy Daniels Day and gave her the key to the city. And,
Yeah.
that says a lot about West Hollywood all by itself. Oh my God. If you're going to take a porn star and praise her like that, what kind of,
Stormy Daniels. Oh, I'm sorry.
Stormy Daniels and give her a key to the city? Really? Really? Do you want your
Give
daughter
her
to
a
grow
key-
up like that?
Give her a key to the brothel.
Yeah. I mean, really, do you want your daughter to grow up to be somebody like her? Really, do you? Because I'm pretty sure you
No,
don't.
I don't. Not me.
No, we're a bunch of morons. You know, that whatever they do in West Hollywood doesn't count. And what they do in Hollywood doesn't count. So,
I don't think so. Apparently, what they do in Chicago over the weekend freaking counts.
oh,
Once again, the Windy City is at it, brother. Land of the strictest gun laws in the freaking country, and home of Rahm douchebag Emanuel.
now he was chief of staff for Barack Hussein
Yes, he
Obama, right?
was. Yes, he
okay.
was.
So he did a bang up job there too,
Sure.
right? Okay. So he's doing even a better job as mayor of Chicago.
You've got a video on this, but we'll go
we
with this
do.
paper here real quick. At least 75 people were shot in one of the most violent weekends of the year in Chicago. Not a shocker anymore. Spurred by a 7-hour period early Sunday morning when 41 people were shot. Apparently, they need a little bit of church up there. Between 3 p.m. Friday and 6 a.m. Monday morning, 12 people were killed and 63 were wounded. Nice. That's according to the Tribune data. Their ages span from 11 to 62 years old. Isn't that something?
Yeah,
Most
no
were
kidding.
shot. These were shot, attacked on the south and west sides. Well, there's no freaking shocker there. As of Friday, at least 1,700 people have been shot in the city this year, fewer than the last 2 years. At this time, when violence hit record levels in the city, but well above other recent years, there have been at least 300 homicides, according to Tribune data. 6 of the shootings this weekend injured 4 or more people in a single attack, racking up 31 victims early Sunday.
Wow.
Like I said, go take communion. The staggering numbers attracted national media attention, really,
Yeah, as well it should.
and resulted in a news conference Sunday morning during which Chicago Police Chief of Patrol Fred Waller blamed the violence on gang members. I can't argue with that. Who shoot into summer crowds at night. They take advantage of that opportunity and they shoot into a crowd, no matter who they hit. Over the weekend, shooters targeted large groups at a block party, a funeral,
A funeral?
yeah,
Well, boy.
and other outdoor gatherings. The largest attack wounded 8 people in the South Side's Gresham neighborhood around 12:40 a.m. Monday, including a 14-year-old girl and 2 17-year-old girls. The 2 17-year-olds shot in separate incidents were the weekend's youngest homicide victims. You know, this crap has got to stop.
They're also calling for the resignation of the police chief, I believe, along with Rahm
The police
Emanuel.
chief and Rahm Emanuel.
I think we got a video on this. Let's take a look at this. See what we got going on here. 'Cause I don't remember. I didn't watch it enough,
At
apparently.
least they're bad shots.
Yeah.
Why didn't Sharpton go to Chicago? Because he won't.
No.
Superintendent and the mayor to step down. Just after midnight Sunday on Chicago's west side, 2 men shot at a crowd during a block party. 4 people were hit, including a 13-year-old boy. At another scene, 8 people were shot outside an apartment complex. Many of the victims are teenagers. In the Englewood neighborhood, stray bullets hit 2 men working on a pool deck of a home. One of the victims ran inside to call 911.
He just was actually trying to help the other guy.
The caller survived, his co-worker did not. Chicago police say over a 24-hour period, 34 people were shot and 5 died. The youngest survivor is an 11-year-old shot in the leg. Chicago police say everyone has to be held accountable, not just law enforcement.
We need more help from our judicial system. We need more help from our federal partners, and we're getting it.
Justice for everybody!
Just before the chaotic weekend, more than 200 demonstrators marched Thursday at an anti-violence rally.
Blue on black violence, black on black violence. We're interested in all the violence stopping.
Some want the
Outstanding.
resignations of the city's police superintendent, Eddie Johnson, and Mayor Rahm Emanuel. On Sunday, police pointed out that despite the weekend violence, murders in the city are down 25% so far this year. Shootings are down more than 30%.
We can never measure what we prevent. What we can see is less victims.
While the numbers are down, one of the protest organizers from last week says that they may next try to disrupt operations at O'Hare International Airport.
Oh, boy.
To drive home the point that more needs to be done. Gail?
All right, Dean, thank
Okay,
you very
that's
much.
good. Yeah, that's pretty sad.
Where does it stop?
Apparently it doesn't. Apparently it doesn't.
You know, I mean, you got a city with obviously the strictest gun laws around. Obviously, you know, these
that's not
aren't law-abiding citizens that are taking this stuff to the streets and killing everybody. You know, drugs, money, and everything like that going on. I don't know. Something's got to give, man.
Well, in one of the reports I read on this too, they said the gang violence is, you know, if you're driving by and shooting at people, that's pretty good chance it's gang violence. And also too, that said that these people are using illegal guns. Well, who would have thought criminals would use an illegal
Yeah,
gun?
that's a shocker and a half. Dave says, why didn't Al Sharpton go to Chicago to protest the killing? Because there's nothing in it for him. Unfortunately, I wish he would. I wish Obama would. I wish Jesse Jackson would go in there and start trying to get some things done, but they don't because nothing benefits them, and that's the only time those people go in there.
Yeah. Yep.
Something needs to be done by somebody. I don't know. It's crazy.
It is.
Yeah. Where is the Black Lives Matter group?
Exactly.
If Black Lives Matter,
where
go in
are
there
you?
and protest blacks killing on blacks?
Yep. Skipping back here just a second, Dan Lenning said Kevin Spacey star is still on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, Phil Wellencamp's out there. What are you doing, Phil?
Shocking illegal weapons.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's I don't care what it is, black on black, black on white, whatever. This is crazy. And somehow, some way, it's got to stop.
Right now, I want to know.
Maybe we need to do another Windy City roundup like they did back in the day. Corrections,
can't hurt
corrections in
anything.
the Chicago Police Department. They took a lot of freaking gangbangers off the street
Yep.
back then.
Yeah,
Oh, I
correct.
forgot they don't want to lock anybody up anymore.
Yeah, well,
Poor people. Poor guys.
well, with all these shootings going on, you know, there's an issue out there with 3D guns right now, right? I want to know how these people did it without those 3D guns. How did all this happen without the 3D guns? Everybody's worried about.
I don't know.
I got a little video of Democrats crying over these 3D guns, and I got plenty to say about this. Let's take a look at this for a second.
Near you, coming to a school near you, coming to a sports stadium, to any public place. These ghost guns are the new wave of American gun violence.
Donald Trump will be
here we
totally
go.
responsible
No, he
for
won't.
every downloadable plastic AR-15 that will be roaming the streets of our country if he does not act today. Because beginning tonight at 12:01 a.m., bad people can go to Instagram and get an Insta-gun that's plastic and non-detectable.
Can we pause that for just a second, John?
They can go anywhere and get a freaking gun, you moron.
Exactly. You can go in. Obviously, it happened over the weekend. There's plenty of shootings without getting online and printing one of these guns out because it takes a lot of time to do this and a very expensive printer. Could you got anything more on that? Otherwise, we'll finish with the tape.
I think it would be easier for them to go freaking steal a gun as to print a freaking gun.
Absolutely. Can we watch the rest of that, John? Or?
That's what's about to happen. The president is tweeting about it. Now it's time for the president to do something about it and to do it today.
He can blame it on anyone if he wants to save face, but it's his doing, it's his responsibility, and the blood's going to be on his hands.
Oh boy, here
Sure
we
as
go.
we're here
Here's
today,
crying
nothing's
check.
going to happen from this administration. We're going to have to pass legislation because they
That's
are
kind of your
just
job, stupid.
enslaved by the NRA. When the NRA says jump, they say how high.
It's crying Chuck
The
Schumer.
president said the first time this comes about, he tweets about it. He says, "I'm going to consult with the NRA." That shakes every American's confidence.
Oh,
that
I'm
he
shaking
really
in my
wants to
boots
do
right now.
something.
Yeah, he's worried about Trump being beholden to the NRA. Wasn't him and his party are beholden to illegal aliens? So
Yeah.
So, and here's another thing: these 3D printers are very expensive. They cost the articles I've seen is upwards of $5,000.
Holy shnikes.
It takes several hours to put this stuff together. And this plastic they're using, where's my article?
I'm on a fixed income. I could never afford one of those.
I know it. 3D guns are firearms. This is from CNN. 3D guns are firearms assembled from ABS plastic parts, same materials found in Legos that can be made with a 3D printer. The Defense Distributed website would have allowed people to download plans for building a variety of 3D guns, including AR-style rifles and Beretta 9mm handguns. Okay, the AR stuff that they're talking about is the lower end of it. It's not the barrel. It's not anything that's really important. It's going to be the trigger assembly and the firing mechanism. But it's not the barrel, so I don't know how they're figuring, you're going to build an AR-15 or a Beretta handgun out of this stuff, because it's not going to happen. And the pictures you see online, these guns are plastic. And if you're familiar with firearms at all, firearms are nothing more than a controlled explosion that shoots a projectile when it's controlled properly. Now, these guns are plastic, so how many rounds do you think those explosions in that plastic is going to last? How many times is that going to work?
Not long.
Not very long. So if you're going to take several hours and several thousands of dollars to build one of these things, wouldn't you, if you're going to go through all this effort, wouldn't you go wouldn't you do like they do now and just steal the damn thing, steal weapons, and there's going to work and they're going to be around for quite some time? And they go on to say, these plastic guns, they don't have a serial number on them. They're not traceable. Oh, my God. You know what criminals do when they have a gun with a serial number on it? They file it off.
You're kidding.
Criminals don't care about the law.
What?
No, believe it or not.
I thought these guys were okay.
Yeah. Oh, there's something. Here's something else. People have been making guns of all types without going through a manufacturer for years. This is not new. I mean, the guns will last for more than 6-7 shots or even one shot, because some of these plastic guns have exploded in people's hands. Okay? So people have been making homemade guns for years. So this is really not that big. Is it kind of an issue? Yeah, but it's not the point where, oh my God, Trump's got blood on his hands, and the NRA, oh my God, they got blood on their hands too, and oh my God.
The frickin' waters and
sure,
and get attention away from them, because they know they're idiots and they're not doing anything worth a crap. So.
Oh, and you want to worry about some things. Let's look at the Oklahoma City bombing.
That's illegal.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Diesel fuel and fertilizer wiped out 160 some odd people in just a split second. Do you need a printer for that? You don't need an expensive printer for that? No, you go out there and you can get this stuff online easy. I mean, the Anarchist Cookbook's been out there for eons, I know. So it'll tell you all kinds of stuff to do. You can make your own black powder. I know people that actually do that. Myself, I just go buy it because I'm not that patient. But you can make your own black powder. You can make all this stuff. You look at our wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, where the IEDs are at. These Hajis over there, they don't need a 3D printer to make these IEDs.
You can't say that.
I just
it's
did.
Politically incorrect.
Yep, sure is.
Okay.
And they hurt a lot of our American soldiers with these things. So when you're looking at these plastic guns like this, they're expensive, takes lots of hours to make these things, fires just a few times, maybe. Here's the other thing is, if you're going to use this thing repeatedly, it's going to have a metal barrel on it. Bottom line, or something that's extremely hard.
Metal everywhere.
Right. And, getting back to the stealing of guns, we did an article, about a year or so ago on the south side of Chicago in the rail yards up there, where gangbangers went out there and broke into a boxcar and stole several guns, a boxcar full of guns.
That or they got them from Fast and Furious and Eric Holder.
Yeah. Well, there's another issue. I'm glad you brought that up.
Did I say that?
Yeah, Eric Holder.
Oh, my.
Boy, what another loser. And if you want to hurt somebody, do you need a gun to do it? I mean, no. We see in London, and I think there's been a couple instances here in the United States where people drove cars through a crowd.
You're throwing acid on people. You got knife attacks.
Machetes for like MS-13.
John Wayne Gacy killed 33 young men and boys without a freaking gun.
Mm-hmm. Ball bats.
Dahmer just ate his.
Oh, wow. Phew.
But anyway, here it comes down to this. It comes down to the law-abiding element or the criminal element, okay? What's the criminal element going to do? They're going to go out there and do stupid stuff. Law-abiding citizens aren't. Get the criminal element off the damn street.
Well, here's another. You got ball bats you can get out there. And how many people do you see every once in a while, people dropping things off of overpasses on the interstate and wiping out people in their cars?
I mean, look at what you can do with someone who's not trained with edged weapons and then look at what you can do with someone who is highly trained with edge weapons. They both can cause a lot of major frickin' damage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, it took one guy with a box cutter to turn a plane into a missile on 9/11.
Absolutely.
So you're worried about these little plastic guns? Really? Don't you have better Is it an issue? Very well can be. Do I think it's a big issue? Not at this point. There's so many more and easier things to do than make a plastic gun with these expensive 3D printers. It takes the one article I read, it was hundreds of hours to make one of these plastic guns. And also, let's see, I think, let's see, 3D guns are firearms. Okay, you got that part. Okay, I think that's about all I got on that stuff. Also, it went on to say that these 3D printers, they make this plastic, and it takes layers upon layers upon layers to make what you're trying to make with this thing. So it's a long, drawn-out process. This plastic, I'm sure you can get apparently from the Lego store, but the printers, 3D printers, I was not familiar with those till now. But come on, Chuck, you and the Dems, you got bigger things to worry about than that. I mean, really. Jody Parrish says WICC and CWC, being the Clayton Work Camp, have a Special Olympics golf outing September the 8th.
In Mount Sterling, Illinois.
That's right.
It's the Western Illinois Correctional Center, Clayton Work Camp, LETR Special Olympics.
Exactly.
So, Abs, there you go, Jody.
All right.
Hello, Tricia. Tricia's out there.
You got Luke Kemp out there, and
hey, on a
Jim
positive
Homer's
note,
out there too.
On a positive note, the first state back pay checks go out.
Ooh, all right.
Can you believe that?
Well, keep reading.
I know. I've read it. Checks went out to more than 900 state workers Wednesday to cover back pay they've been owed since 2011.
Whoa, how many years ago was that?
7.
Well, 7, yeah.
Comptroller Susanna Mendoza's office said the checks were issued to workers at the Department of Public Health, who got most of it in the first place. She posted on social media that Public Health was the first state agency to issue vouchers to her office. That is true. I heard Corrections has kind of fallen behind on the voucher situation. Maybe that was on purpose. I don't know. Estimated 24,000 state workers are owed pay dating back to 2011. Yes, I am. Some of them have since retired. Yes, we have. The American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees said the workers are employed in the Department of Corrections, Juvenile Justice, Human Services, Natural Resources, Public Health. You're killing me here with this. The union said the back pay average is about $2,500 per worker. You owe me a little bit more than that. The issue stems from 2011 when former Governor Pat Quinn said lawmakers did not appropriate enough money to cover 2% raises for thousands of AFSCME members in 14 state agencies.
Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. So Mike Madigan was Speaker of the House when this happened, right? And the House is the one that appropriates the money, right? Okay, so Mike Madigan, he heads the state, basically. I mean, let's face it.
He runs the state.
Let's face it, he runs the state. So Mike Madigan did not appropriate the money at this time for the 2% pay raises that the Democratic Party negotiated for the union labor, right?
Correct.
Okay, continue, please.
Well, I'm lost now. Quinn said that without an authorization by lawmakers to spend money, the state could not pay the raises to those workers. Yeah, because there was not only we didn't get back pay for the raises, people weren't getting their step raises.
Right, and still haven't.
And they're behind 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 step raises, and that's ridiculous.
Wait till they finally get those step raises enforced. They're
there's some money going to be handed out back.
Absolutely.
I know they still owe me over $4,000.
Yeah, pretty much same here.
Compounded at 7% interest.
So now, when Mike Madigan was Speaker of the House, because he has been for 3 decades or so.
At the end of this term, he will be the longest reigning Speaker of the House any state in the union.
Go figure. Well, that explains why this state's so screwed up.
Corruption.
So, he was Speaker of the House when they did not appropriate the money for the pay raises. Now they've appropriated some money for the back pay. Do you think he's wanting to take credit for appropriating the money for the back pay? I'll bet you he does. I'll bet you he does. Yeah. And Stoker says, we're getting back to the guns, it's probably a shorter waiting period to get a gun legal, but legally, that'd be legal. They've got Dwight Etiken out there.
Hello, Dwight. What else you got? I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I know. I worked pretty hard around here.
Mm-hmm.
Polk County, Florida. Lakeland, Florida. Remember Lakeland, Florida?
Is Polk Salad Annie down in Polk County, Florida?
What?
Never mind. Any Elvis fans out there? Know what I mean.
Okay. The first ever class of school guardians will graduate Monday night. Monday night, the Polk County Sheriff's Office will swear in 90 armed guards, which will protect your children in schools across Central Florida. That's where that David Hogg's from, right?
The hog. Here come the hog. Here come the hog.
We're not just there to sit down and watch cameras. We're actually there to patrol that school, Justin Dunn said. He is one of the 90 guardians to be sworn in Monday night at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. At 30 years old, Dunn is taking on one of the nation's biggest challenges, keeping children safe in schools. And he's taking it seriously. He said, I've been saying from the get-go, we need to do something. Dunn is a military history and said his duties took him to Afghanistan doing almost the same type of job. Dunn admits they lost men, but never the people they were protecting. Polk County Schools says there were about 600 applicants, but tonight just 90 will walk across the stage. The guards underwent pistol training, accuracy testing, and mental toughness, according to Dunn. Right now, my oldest one is in elementary school. She starts first grade this year, so Sandy Hook sticks out the most to me, he says. Dunn called himself and others bullet blockers.
That's
Okay,
fantastic.
that is.
That is fantastic. I can't even tell you. It is a crying shame that this is what our society has come to in this day and age. It is absolutely terrible. You know, just 35 years ago, kids could take their shotguns to school in the back of their trucks.
Right, because we did.
You know, and now you can't do a thing because some freaking goofball out there will want to shoot the place up. So I think this is fantastic. I think the kids will feel more secure. You know, because I think right now there's a lot of anxiety and everything with these kids going to school. So I'm hoping that this will ease their fears and their anxieties, knowing that there's people there that's going to help them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we've been talking about this for quite some time. Going on with this, they're going to step out to take out the person who is shooting at our students and our teachers. Jacqueline Bird, superintendent of the Polk County Schools, said the schools say they're not releasing the postings of the guardians for their safety. All right. The guardians will be in plain uniform when school opens August 13th. So that's awesome. So all the people that's out there, oh my God, guns, more guns is not the answer. Well, every time you call a cop, that's exactly what you're doing.
Well, I mean, you just harken back to this North Carolina senator, a Democrat who harped on gun control. And this has been several years ago. What does he do when somebody tries to break into his house? He shoots the bastard.
Right.
You
So
know?
he was the biggest hypocrite out there.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't much care for Rauner either, Coop. So.
Yeah, and I will agree with you on that one. Madigan did slow Rauner down because Rauner is not anything like he said he was going to be. And don't worry, he will not get another term, I'm sure. But you're right. That's just about the only good thing you can say about Madigan.
It's almost throwing up your freaking arms in the air trying to figure out who we could get in there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Phil Curry's out there this evening, too.
What up, Philly?
Oh.
Lloyd, you're not getting your money, okay? It's called coming to me.
Oh, Lloyd wants a 7%, but I thought they decided they weren't going to do that. We're probably not getting any interest on our cash. So.
Well, I think that was supposed to be compounded daily, but I think it might go to just one lump 7% or whatever it is, but who knows?
Oh.
Holder, what up, Holder? Two biggest gripes: back pay and gun control. Well, I agree with that.
There you go. What else you got over there?
What, Rauner lied?
Yeah, no kidding.
Venezuela, baby. I'm ready to move.
Are you? To Venezuela?
Hell no.
Huh. Yeah, just check out this article.
The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, said inflation in crisis-stricken Venezuela could top 1,000,000% by year's end as the country's economic turmoil deepens. 1,000,000%.
That's insane. How's that socialism working now?
It would mean skyrocketing costs for necessary goods at a time when people in the country are lacking even the most basic care as the country's socialist economy collapses. There's a shocker. The price of a combo meal in a fast food restaurant in Caracas is $3.51. If fast food meal were to experience projected inflation, it would skyrocket to a paltry $35,100.
Wow.
Wowza. How would that be for a big freaking Mac?
Hmm.
In the U.S., the average cost of a fast food meal is $7. with 1,000,000%, $70,000. Good night. I still wouldn't pay for it. A dozen eggs from Amazon Fresh delivered in New York City address can be purchased for about $2.99, but that price would soar to $29,000 at the same level in inflation. The IMF is projecting for Venezuela was to hit the United States. I mean, for crying out loud. Gas would be like $28,000 a gallon. I think I'd be walking, Steve.
I'm pretty sure, because I know you're on a fixed income. You mentioned that once or twice.
That is true. I can barely afford a fat burger.
So how's that socialism working out down there? Oh, yeah, it's not working at all. Just like every time it's been tried, it's never worked yet. So I don't understand why these people think socialism is such a great idea. When we've played videos where these...
You're right, Eddie. I could lose a little bit of weight if I was in Venezuela. So.
I don't think you'd get a choice.
Actually, you would be the first one I ate.
Wow. Okay, have you heard of this Cynthia Nixon? Speaking of socialism, Cynthia Nixon on Tuesday proudly proclaimed herself a democratic socialist. Wow.
That's intelligent.
We should just go out and say, you're an idiot. It's the same thing. The actress turned candidate for governor explicitly embraced the Democratic Socialist label for the first time in a statement provided to Politico. Yes, some more establishment corporate Democrats get very scared by this term, but if democratic socialism means that you believe health care, housing, education, the things we need to thrive should be basic rights, not a privilege, then count me in. Okay? It's not a right. You have the right to an opportunity. That's about it, and whatever's guaranteed to you in the Bill of Rights, and some of these people need to read those things. But health care, education, housing is not a right. It's something you've earned for yourself. I mean, it's been that's just the way it is. So Nixon spokeswoman Lauren Hitt pointed out Nixon endorsed two candidates who are members of the Democratic Socialists of America. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who defeated Representative Joe Crowley, and Julia Salazar, a candidate who is challenging Queens State Senator Martin Dillon. Nixon has promoted a leftist agenda, higher taxes on the wealthy to fund more government spending. So here again, you're bringing the top down rather than bringing the bottom up.
Maybe they should take some of the benefits away from maybe our senators and things like that.
Because they always seem to go into office not so rich and come out very rich.
Yeah. I wonder how that happens.
Well, I think you posted something on Bernie Sanders. It said when I meant when
He's gotten pretty rich on capitalism, old Bernie has.
Yeah.
He's got 3 multi-million-dollar houses, not to mention what his pension is going to be. And hey, Bernie, sell a couple of frickin' homes and send some people to school if you're, want them to have free health care and education.
I'll guarantee if you send the IRS a check, they will cash it.
You're kidding.
No questions asked. If you think the rich need to pay a little more because you're already in that category, send them a check. They'll cash it guaranteed.
Big Hungry Roy Smith is listening.
Oh, hey, we got Rob Snow out there tonight, too. All right.
What? Snow Dog, what up, man? This is all right.
Cynthia Nixon, she said she opposes privately managed, publicly funded charter schools. Why? Why would you do that? You want everybody to go to a public school? Because the public school system, especially when you go to places like Chicago, is not doing so good.
No.
And same way with New York, which is where she's going to be at anyways. For his part, Governor Andrew Cuomo has moved to the left in his second term. That's who she's running against. Pushing for increases in minimum wage, family leave law, and tuition-free scholarship program for low- and middle-income students attending public colleges. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, these people better wake up because the hashtag walk-away movement from the Democratic Party is starting to snowball.
And I just don't... I'm not following this whole socialism thing where people think you can get all this health care for free and college for free.
Nothing is ever for free.
Nothing is free.
Nothing.
And, you got your liberal professors out there preaching the same thing. Well, college needs to be free. Okay, well, then how about you give your paycheck back and work for nothing? See how that works for you.
I don't think that's going to happen, bud.
No, it's not going to happen at all. No, they're the first ones to the bank to cash that check because capitalism is working well for them.
Well, here's one thing. I mean, I love sports. I really do. But I just saw the other day, I think it was Nick Saban, who just got a brand new 7-year contract, I think. Head coach, I believe, is Alabama, for $74.4 million.
Wow.
Now, maybe tuition might not be so damn high if they didn't pay these frickin' college coaches so damn much money.
Yeah, well, that'd be a start.
You know, I mean, for crying out loud. What would a Bear Bryant, you know, the magnificent coach from Alabama, you know, what would he make in this day and age?
Oh, my God, I don't know. It's hard to say.
That's insane. Professors getting six-figure incomes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Kim Frick Hayes out there this evening. John Stocks out there this evening. Awesome. Okay. Ready for another article?
Go ahead.
Okay.
You're on a roll.
Sure.
I'm on a jelly roll, so go ahead.
Not really surprised.
Actually, a Swiss cake roll. Have you guys ever had like Little Debbie Swiss cake rolls? They're absolutely fantastic. You roll them out and have fun with it. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Comedy hour's over.
A suspected Russian spy
I
was
get you all tongue-tied, don't I?
Yeah. A suspected Russian spy was employed for more than a decade at the U.S. Embassy in Moscow before being fired last year, a senior administration official tells CNN. The woman, a Russian national, worked for the U.S. Secret Service for years before she came under suspicion during one of the State Department's regional security office's routine security reviews in 2016. The security office found the woman was having regular unauthorized meetings with the Russian intelligence service, the FSB. We figured that all of them who are talking to the FSB, but she was giving away way more information than she should have. The regional security office alerted the embassy in January 2017, which that's when Trump came into office, right? And the woman was dismissed last summer after being caught red-handed. We knew it was happening. It was just a process of playing it out and giving her specific information that we saw her giving back to the FSB. The woman had access to Secret Service intranet and email systems, but the official said this was not an issue of national security. Sure, hell no, it wasn't. No, you have access to all this stuff, but it's not a national security issue. Everybody believes that. Stand on your head.
No.
It said she did not have access to highly classified information. Sure. Neither did Hillary and her servers, right?
Right.
A person familiar with this case says the woman in question was actually employed by the State Department, but did work for Secret Service as part of her job at the embassy. All foreign nationals are technically employed by the State Department, which vets and hires them, and then the different agencies assign them to work. The State Department declined to comment, saying they do not comment on allegations related to intelligence or personnel matters, and we have no information. Okay, so this was for a decade, they said, right? That was during the Obama years?
Sounds like it to me.
Would that be considered collusion with the Russians?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, just wondering. Maybe it could be. I'm like, crap. She's talking to Russian people, and she's in the intelligence service.
Well, he did say he'd be more flexible.
Yeah, we're going to send some people over there and tell you. Yeah.
And
they have Hillary put her servers in the closet, and, they can be hacked, and you're paying this British intelligence officer to go to Russia and, make some shit up. And yeah, but it's all good. Hey, it's all right. Sure.
You haven't freaked out on here in a long time. I'm really kind of getting disappointed with you.
I'm leaving that to you.
I got an article here that says Trump is open to a meeting with an Iranian leader. Trump said Monday that he'd certainly meet with Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, and without preconditions if the Iranian leader were willing. He said he would meet with the Iranians anytime they want to. I'll meet with anybody. He said there is nothing wrong with meeting. The overture marks a significant shift in tone and comes as Trump and the Iranians have been escalating the rhetoric following Trump's May withdrawal from the landmark Iran nuclear accord. The administration is set to begin reimposing sanctions that had been lifted under the 2015 deal next month and has been ratcheting up a pressure campaign on the Islamic Republic that many suspect is aimed at regime change. And it is unclear whether Rouhani has any interest in meeting. His chief of staff claimed earlier this month in Iran's state-owned newspaper that Rouhani had rejected 8 requests from Trump for one-on-one talks last year. He said he recently warned the U.S. that war with Iran is the mother of all wars. Bring it, punk. Prompting all caps retort from Trump to Iranian President Rouhani, never ever threaten the United States again. I kind of like that. Or you will suffer the consequences. the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before. We are no longer a country that will stand for your demented words of violence and death. In other words, he's going to draw a thin red line, and you're not going to step over this one like you did with the last freaking guy that was in there.
Because he was more flexible after the
Sure
election.
he was. Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Zarif fired back his own message that began, "Color us unimpressed."
Yeah. Well,
Go
okay.
ride a freaking camel.
You can think what you want.
Trump tempered his threatening rhetoric 2 days later when he said his administration stands ready for Iran to come back to the negotiating table. I don't think you're going to win this one there, Mr. Iranian leader.
But you know what? And Trump is consistently criticized for talking to these people like Kim Jong-un and the Iranian people. But you know what? How do you solve a difference if you don't talk to people? I don't get it. The Dems, when Obama was in office, he'd just say, yeah, okay, I'll be more flexible, like John Stock was talking about here. I'll be more flexible and you can do what you want. That's not the way you run the greatest country in the world.
No, absolutely not.
Hey, we got Cody Orange and Dave Jameson out there watching, too.
All right.
Got an article here with a little video to follow it up, too.
Uh-oh.
This out of Berkeley. This is from CBS.
Oh, for God's sakes. It's out of Berkeley?
Mm-hmm. At least 20 people were arrested, many armed with a variety of weapons, after a rally turned into a violent clash between anti-fascist and anti-Marxist protesters near a Berkeley Park Sunday afternoon. Authorities said nearly 24 city vehicles were also vandalized, the windshields broken, and one was set on fire by an incendiary device. There have been 20 arrests, most of them for possession of banned weapons.
What?
Yeah, the stuff was illegal, and they brought them anyway. Oh, my God. In banned weapons in parks and on streets and sidewalks, Berkeley police said that in a statement, dozens of weapons were confiscated, even though there were many hundreds of people, many of whom came armed and hostile. There was no significant injuries to anyone. Police said that they were surprised by the lack of injuries, given the extremists threw explosives at Berkeley police and Alameda County Sheriff's Office mutual aid officers. You know, I'm a pretty big fan of these water cannons. You start throwing explosive devices at me, I'm all for that.
I'm a pretty big fan of ISPR jets.
That'll work too.
A little OC for your sinuses.
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Sure, there, Big Pepper.
Okay. The No Marxists in America 2 rally drew rival protesters to the area near Berkeley's Martin Luther King Jr. Civic Center Park. From the start, verbal confrontations erupted under watchful eyes of riot-geared Berkeley police officers. Those verbal altercations turned into shoving confrontations. This one guy told the TV station he was demonstrating to tell white supremacists they were not welcome in Berkeley. Okay, so the liberals are all about, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
And being inclusive.
All inclusive.
All inclusive, yeah. Just the tolerance thing. So this guy saying, demonstrating to tell white supremacists they're not welcome in Berkeley. Well, where's your
tolerance?
Where's your tolerance at?
Tolerance?
Because that's what you're preaching is tolerance, right? But you have no tolerance when somebody's saying something you don't like.
No, it's only tolerant when they want something. Go for 26.
There you go. Hey, John Lennon's out there this evening too. Also, too, if these people, and I understand. They have a right to protest, whether you agree with them or not. Both these outfits have a right to protest. Sure. You get your permit. Peacefully. That's right. You don't burn down cars. The city vehicles, what did it say? 24 city vehicles were vandalized. One of them was set on fire. Okay, that's called a riot. That's not a protest, okay? So if you have two different factions, if one person has a permit to protest at a location, let them do it. That doesn't mean that the opposite faction has to come protest against them. Now, you can do that another day at another location, whatever, because all you're doing is inciting a riot.
Yep.
I mean, let's call it what it is. It's a flipping riot. So
we got a
protest.
1034 in progress. Glad I never heard those words.
No kidding. So we got a little video of this too. Let's take a quick look at that before we wrap things up for this evening. Uh-oh.
Patience, both verbal and physical. KPX5's Katie Nielsen saw it all play out. Katie.
Speak up,
Juliet,
Katie.
everything is quiet here now in Civic Center Plaza. You can even see Berkeley city workers are taking down the portable security barriers. But earlier today, this was the scene of tense clashes between ultra-conservatives and counter-protesters. This is some of the aftermath of the protests. At some point during the chaos, 20 City of Berkeley vehicles parked along Berkeley Way had their windows broken out and windshields smashed. One of the cars was even set on fire.
Damn.
Half a dozen loud explosions from fireworks or smoke bombs echoed through the streets of Berkeley near Martin Luther King Park, where about 15 people with Trump banners and American flags held an anti-Marxism rally.
I'm here to stand up for America and stand up against the Marxists in this country that are trying to undermine our country from within.
Hundreds of counter-protesters gathered at Ohlone Park.
For many months on end, white supremacists and fascists have been targeting Berkeley, and we're here to say that racism doesn't belong in our communities.
The group then marched toward MLK Park, but was stopped a block away by a wall of police officers clad in riot gear. A handful of counter-protesters made their way into the plaza and clashed with the Trump supporters. And while there was some peaceful dialogue between the two sides, most of the interactions were screaming and shoving matches.
Cities like Berkeley, cities like Portland, we're having pro-American people come in these towns. They're being called Nazis, they're being called white supremacists, they're being called all sorts of vile names just for supporting America.
Is that one of the Beatles?
Here, Amber has organized this
take a listen.
Say No to Marxism rally and says her group is misunderstood.
We've got a gay black man and a transsexual throwing a No to Marxism rally. I don't think our message is non-unification. I don't think we're Nazis. I think that's pretty clear.
No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
Counter-protesters say it's equally as important for their voices to be heard.
We've consistently had a lot of different groups and organizations here across the Bay Area that really don't want this type of racism to have a voice in our communities and know the kind of threat that it can put communities under.
We are stronger than them, and we're not going to back down.
Now, in previous
Okay, that's
events,
good, John.
right here in
But yeah, so, how about all that tolerance going on there that they keep asking about?
It's a hard day's night, man. Oh, goodness. Maybe it's time to resurrect Andrew McCarthy.
Could be. Well, that's all I've got for this evening.
That's all
We're
I've
out
got,
of time.
brother. Thank you all for
All
tuning
right.
into the show, giving us your comments and everything. It is
Absolutely.
fantastic. Like we always say, you guys make this a lot more fun.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much for everyone.
Absolutely. Greatly appreciate it. Even the articles we get on text messages or sent to us on Facebook is very helpful.
Absolutely.
Remember, if you love your country and love your freedom, thank a veteran.
Absolutely. God bless America, man.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.